What's up, guys? Just figured I'd do a quick video, kind of a 1-year update, mods I've done, in my opinion, of the Shotgun 650 that I bought. If you aren't aware, a while back I decided I wanted to change of pace. Basically, I used to have my Honda VFR 1200, great bike, really powerful, loved it, but it just didn't really suit what I was after, at least at this point in my life. I want to slow down, basically, kind of relax, just chill. But I didn't quite want a full-on cruiser or anything too big and heavy, so I came across the Royal Enfield Shotgun 650. I always liked their engine, I just never liked the Interceptor. I wanted something a little bit more laid back, and then the Super Meteor was nice, but too much of a cruiser. Then they finally came out with this bike, which is more or less the frame of the Super Meteor with a slightly taller rear suspension, slightly less raked front with shorter front shocks, but more or less, yes, it's still kind of a cruiser. It's more of a what they call a roadster, a standard, because it's got the mid controls on it. But anyway, just figured I'd go over it. I've had it for more or less exactly a year at this point. I haven't done anything too crazy as far as upgrades have gone. One of the first couple of things I did was I got rid of the cheap, cheesy looking yellow turn signals these came with. But those are the factory Royal Enfield LEDs. They're still amber, but they're a lot brighter and they look a lot better on this bike. I don't know if it's because of the white paint. It just works better. Next thing I did was this little fly screen windscreen. It does have an effect as far as creating a little bit of a bubble, kind of about the bottom of my chest down is a little less windy. But mainly I wanted to protect the gauges, because if you don't have it there, they're kind of exposed on the backside, so just a little extra protection. And for me, I mean, not that it's going to save me, but you know, I did do these crash bars. I couldn't find a set that I liked. I've already got a rock chip in this one too, which is really annoying. I'll have to get something to cover that. But I did these crash bars. They got the little frame slider deal on them, which I kind of hit or miss torn on that, but I just put them on for now, because if all else fails, I actually make a great spot to put my leg on for a minute to kind of stretch. But the big thing is they don't stick out super crazy far like some of them do. They're about total width almost the same as the saddlebags with the frame slider. That, and they secure at 3 spots, which I also like. Most of the small crash guards they have only go there in the middle. You know, it's just a little hoop, which I originally was going to get those, but I just didn't quite like the way they looked. So anyway, got that going. Did the rear mufflers. These are the Rhino Racing stainless steel mufflers. I do have the baffle installed on them, so they're kind of quieter, or they're quieter than without them by a lot. Like these things without them are pretty loud, but they're still louder than the stock stuff. The most recent thing I did was actually these bags. I've had the bags for a while, but I had to find a set of saddlebag stays, which I can't really show them, but you can see they're held out there. I finally got a set of bag stays that I like to put these bags on. These are just a Kemimoto, like they're on eBay and Amazon. They're, you know, I think $70, $80 for the pair. Because they're so far apart, you can't properly lace all. They have 8 holes on each flappy thing, whatever you want to call it. I don't know the technical term. So I've only got it laced by 4, but I've laced it in a way that they're kind of double laced. And then I got this rear rack plate. Normally the rear seat goes here, but I don't carry passengers. So I put a plate on here so I can also get some kind of tail bag that I can use. And also a good platform for, I want to do some camping, moto camping. And I've got some dry bags that'll sit on there pretty nicely too. Has like my tent and stuff in it. Still on the original factory tires. I'm just going to wear them out. Now, I'd like to get something better. I'm not a big fan of them, but they work. It's just not very good, like, not good confidence in them. They don't feel sticky, I guess, if that makes sense. Like they feel like a cheap tire. And eventually I'll probably get some Bridgestones they make for these things, but I do have a couple more things I'd like to do, but I'm kind of undecided. One of them is the mirrors. I actually don't mind these mirrors. A lot of guys hate them, and yes, they don't look the greatest, but they're up out of the way for me, and I can see most of the road. Yes, I catch a little bit of my arm, but I wouldn't mind doing the bar ends, but I just don't like the way bar ends look. I never have. I don't know. That, again, personal opinion, and I might be wrong to you, but that's me. How's the bike been? Got a couple thousand miles on it. I didn't ride it as much as I would have liked to last year. Some of that was because it took me 2 months to get the fucking plates put on it. If you've known me long enough, you understand what happened there. That was annoying. But then the weather didn't quite work out all the time, and I was busy with other stuff. But I plan on using this bike a lot this year, which is why I wanted to get the bags. And as you can tell, I'm setting it up to be more practical than fun. Hence all the bars and everything. And it's gotten a little heavier, but you know, whatever. It does all the things I want it to do. It's fast enough to keep up with traffic. I can pass people on the highway, although if I'm already going 80 miles an hour, I don't have a whole lot of passing room to work with, but it's there. I'm not on my 200 or almost 200 horsepower bike anymore, so yes, that sucks. I can't just blast away like I used to, but oh well. I haven't had any issues with it getting hot, overheating. I do want to get a head temp gauge to kind of tuck away somewhere just for hot days, but again, I know how to ride an air-cooled bike. If you do own or get one of these bikes, or at least with that engine, for some reason Royal Enfield changed the way they do their service interval now, so they're telling the dealers to skip the first service, which in the manuals is it's like 280 miles basically. I recommend not skipping that service. If you have to do it yourself. Adjust the valves. Mine were all tight except for one set, and they were almost tight, like 2000s barely went in there. Just do it. They might tell you it's not necessary. I'm telling you it's necessary. Other than that, I did put a Fuel X light on it to go with the mufflers, even though it probably didn't need it, but I wanted the extra fueling for rideability, which I will say it was worth. It's a lot smoother at low speeds. My fuel economy did suffer a couple miles per gallon, but I can live with that. I still get about 58 to 60 miles per gallon, which ain't bad. I mean, for as heavy as this bike is, especially now that I've added a bunch of shit to it, it could be way worse. 60 miles per gallon, perfect. Still double what my old Honda used to get. But yeah, there's really not much else to talk about. Brakes are pretty nice on it. That rear brake is monstrously huge, so it can stop the planet all on its own. You can even see it from here. Like, it's literally the same size as the front, if I remember right, or really close to it. It's kind of like the Hawk, where it has like more braking power in the rear than it really needs. I even think it's got the same caliper in the back too, but if you do want to get one of these, it's a great mix between a cruiser and a standard. That's why I like it. And then just to touch the last base, I want to work. I did try to get a set of risers for this without a whole lot of luck. So I'm looking at the two options. One, these are the style that kind of bolts through, and I might just put a spacer there to lift these up like an inch. Or I'm going to look into swapping out for like a set of Super Meteor 650 handlebars, which are a little wider, a little taller, and a little more swept back, which is all I want. Because where these bars are with my height in the seating position, it's at slow speeds it's fine. It's actually pretty nice, but at the highway or at highway speeds for a length of time, my back will start to get a little sore because I'm in this weird in between where I can't quite hold myself up the right way, and I can't really slouch, and so I either have to lean more, which is more uncomfortable, or like be straight armed, which I don't like. So I'd like to sit upright more. So I think a set of bars that were just a little further back, like the Super Meteors, might work fine. Or like I said, just raising the bars here an inch or half an inch, not a lot, just enough to bring me that little extra bit back. But that's all I got for you guys for now. Like I said, I'm not really doing a whole lot of like bike content anymore. I'm just doing my own thing. Maybe I'll cover more here in the future. Not entirely sure. But I'll catch you guys later.